You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I didn't know if this was possible, but I think it is possible. Russell Wilson is literally causing two different teams drama. And I'm talking about the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. As we know, this week is the big Denver Broncos versus Steelers game. It was supposed to be the Russell Wilson Revenge Tour, which, by the way, on a side note, I am really waiting for that Mac Jones, the Dolphins news to drop and for Mac to start his revenge tour. But that's another video for another day. Nonetheless, people are asking questions. Hey, did Sean Payton really make the right decision letting Russell Wilson go? I think ultimately he probably did, because Russell doesn't run the kind of quarterbacking that offense is looking for, all right? That timing and rhythm offense. But there's a big controversy brewing in Steelers land because Russell Wilson's not going to play in this game. Justin Fields is not, he's got a chance. There's a chance he could steal this job and keep it. He's playing this week. He's starting this week. And guess what? He's starting next week already. I mean, it's looking an awful lot like Russell Wilson has lost his job again. Now, maybe he'll come back, but the one thing I would point out about calf injuries and quarterbacks, guys, a lot of times when there is a calf injury, the thing that follows up after that is a Achilles tendon tear. All right? It happens a lot. There's always some irritated calf that's involved in the situation. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest example of that. Just putting that out there. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen to Russell, but this is turning out to be interesting. So, according to, and this is the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, but we also got the Denver Post, because they're asking questions. Is this the right decision? Did he make the right decision? I mean, Sean Payton drafted, but Bo Nix is going to be a quarterback in the league, a starting quarterback. All right? It does show you the difference between preseason and real football, how that first week went, but you get my point, right? According to sources, the Steelers plan to have Justin Fields start the next two games, Sunday in Denver against the Broncos and the home opener against the LA Chargers, while Russell Wilson continues to rest his injured calf so it doesn't morph into something much worse. I added the much because we're talking Achilles tendons here. By that time, especially if the Steelers are 3-0 with Fields as their quarterback, the gossip, conjecture, and narrative will increase to royal tabloid measures, no doubt. It will be a 5-alarm fire in Pittsburgh, with the Russell Wilson versus Justin Fields crowd getting real loud on both sides. The Steelers' quarterback room certainly gets its share of airtime with the national media, more so probably than any other team in the league. Well, the Cowboys. It's been that way since 2022 when they signed Mitch Trubisky in free agency, drafted Kenny Pickett a month later, and treated Mason Rudolph like the last guy picked in the playground game during what was loosely termed a training camp competition. As far as I'm concerned, Rudolph should still be on this team, but that's neither here nor there. Just when it appeared all was calm, it ignited again last year when Rudolph came off the bench to replace injured Kenny Pickett, ignited the offense, and effectively saved the season with 3 consecutive victories. True to form, Mike Tomlin spent the summer being publicly coy about his new quarterback. He declined to anoint a starter, only to say Russell Wilson had the pole position. Even though it's easy to surmise the 9-time Pro Bowl quarterback was not brought in the words of former general manager Tom Donahue, to lead the band at halftime. Still, even when Wilson injured his calf in conditioning drills on the first day of training camp, guys, his calf has been jacked up for 3 months. Really? Yikes. Tomlin let the media feast on the idea that Fields was gaining traction, and some people falsely believed that it was a quarterback competition. When asked repeatedly, Tomlin said Wilson was the starter, or would be when he returns. That was taken most wrongly as a lack of commitment to the former Seahawks quarterback. While that would publicly appear to be unfair to Wilson, a highly decorated former Super Bowl winner and future Hall of Famer, it doesn't mean he wasn't assured privately he is a starter. So he is saying that I guess Wilson is supposed to get this job back, but if they're 3-0, guys, if they are 3-0, this is going to turn into a dumpster fire. All right, rolling downhill on a tire fire, to call back to one of my favorite sayings from back in the day. This will get ugly. So that brings us to Payton, right? Over to Denver. When Payton cut Russell Wilson in March, eating $85 million in dead cap money, it sent an unmistakable message that the quarterback was the problem. But are we sure it wasn't the play caller he left behind? This has put a lot of heat on Payton all of a sudden. Okay, because a lot of people are asking questions. Hey, look, if this doesn't work out, I mean, over the next, several weeks, people are going to start looking at him as being the problem and maybe not Russell Wilson. Interesting. And is that going to influence Mike Tomlin? I doubt it. Beginning Sunday, he needs to start showing why dispatching Wilson made sense. It is known that they clashed professionally. Payton wants a on-time, in-rhythm offense. Where have you heard that before? Right here. Not an attack based on street ball plays that are not sustainable. He's not wrong, but can he prove it right? Everything about Payton's resume suggests he's capable of doing it, but we haven't seen it. It reminds me of the days of covering Coach Mike Shanahan, the great Mike Shanahan. Let's put him in the hall, by the way. The debate raged as the quarterback captured back-to-back, as the Broncos captured back-to-back Super Bowl titles. Was it because of the player or the system? Shanahan posted a 7-1 postseason record with John Elway as his quarterback on teams that featured Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp, and Gary Zimmerman. His playoff record without Elway, a sobering 1-5 in Denver and Washington with 0 victories from drafted quarterbacks. He had a color and couldn't make it work. Yikes. Translation, a coach can be a mastermind, and Payton and Shanahan deserve the title and not win without a star quarterback and plenty of talent around him. 3 games without Wilson is a micro sample size, but cannot be dismissed. The Broncos have looked worse without him in Jarrett Stidham's 2 starts and Nix's debut. Have they? I think that's arguable. I do. I actually think Stidham played pretty well in both of his games last year. Now, one could argue Stidham maybe should still be starting and let Bo Nix kind of come along behind the scenes and then come in. But I think Bo Nix is a guy. I do. Wilson will likely watch Sunday from the sideline. He will. His 35-year-old body struggling with calf injuries that has lingered for 6 weeks. His age and declining skills offer support for Payton's decision to cut him. So what the takeaway is here is that Sean Payton's got some heat on him now. The media is officially applying pressure as to whether or not that cutting Russell Wilson was the right decision. Is there an argument there? Because at the end of the day, we're talking about is that a right decision, but Russell Wilson can't play right now. He's injured. Why is he injured? Well, he's a running 35-year-old quarterback. That's why he's injured, right? That's his calf. He got a calf strain in the first day of training camp that has lasted all the way until at least through week 3. I mean, I think Sean Payton, now, the question is, did Sean Payton get his quarterback right? I don't know. That's the other thing. I think Bo Nix is the guy, and I like him. But it remains to be seen. I also think Jarrett Stidham could probably start. He's another name to look for in Miami. His name's floating around, too, along with Mac Jones. But that's neither here nor there. This is going to be interesting because now the city of Denver's applying pressure on Payton over Russell Wilson? What? Are you kidding me right now? And Mike Tomlin is a smart dude. If he's rolling with a 3-0 situation, I cannot imagine, especially if Justin Fields balls out in one of these two games and throws up something absurd like 300 passing yards or 100 rushing yards and like 3 or 4 combined touchdowns, boy, Tomlin's going to take a lot of heat. And we got to remember something about this year. Guys, remember I did the video where Steelers ownership has said making the playoffs this year is not sufficient. They must make the playoffs and win games, or at least a game, because we know they make it all the time. But they haven't won a game in a long time. And ownership wants to see that. By the way, Tomlin no longer has an out to go coach the Chargers. Although, if Mike Tomlin got let go at the end of the year, if he wants to keep coaching, he would have a job in like a week. I guess. I mean, Vrabel didn't get hired, but Tomlin's got the ring. So, it's very similar to Payton in that situation, I think. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.